Oh, perfect. It's recording now. So welcome.
Hello, welcome everybody to day two of relationships. Are you sure you want one book club?
Hmm. Oh yeah. How are you, Elisa?
Oh, I'm so great. Thank you. Just having a lot of awareness with everything with this, and oh my gosh, it's been amazing. How are you?
Oh, very well. It's been a very busy day, and I'm just realizing that probably my body will need or will require something after all these Zooms I had today. um, so let's see. Actually, sometimes I really miss to go out to enjoy and to be within the parks and the trees and you know. So when it happens these days that I miss so much to be in connection with the earth because we are at home, I really connect with my body and ask what else is possible. How can I nurture you in different way, another way? So don't go to this point of frustration and anger because it's easier to go that way. I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah, to that place. Yes,
to that place. Yeah,
instead of trying to know what else is possible, know what can we get from what from our resources right now. Yeah.
exactly. Because I don't know, in Mexico here we have like quarantine very strict.
Oh
It,
no, in Mexico it's not like that. It is most from the people, and yes, you can see that the streets are maybe all alone, but it's not because a governmental thing. It is just because we are responsible, maybe.
yeah,
So we have that opportunity of going out to the park, for example, and you can see that there are only 5 families in the park, you know, in a
area.
huge, yeah, in a huge area. So it is pretty easy for us to get that. Yeah.
No. So how does it get any better than this?
Yes. I know.
So let's
Come and live,
let's start.
move to Mexico. Mexico
Yeah,
Mágico, you know?
yeah. I miss Mexico.
You have to
Today
come.
I saw a meme today. I put it in the Facebook. One guy, these machines to run at home.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes with this with his bag in this machine, and then he put the bag and just missing the airport so much.
I'm about to do that. Oh yeah.
It's very funny.
It is a pretty good way for training.
Yes. So amazing. I really miss traveling.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think
I know.
I'm not the one. I'm not the only one.
I know. I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
So,
let's begin on
oh
chapter
yeah,
3.
yeah.
Okay, so you go?
Should like it? Yeah, I go.
Okay.
So today is what counts.
Mm.
Brendon, um, Brendon say. For a long time after getting together, Simone and I avoid calling what we had created as a relationship. From the outside, people look at us and assume we were a couple. We kept saying, no, we are not. The subtext was, we are just friends who have sex and hang out. One day, I was at an Access Consciousness class in San Francisco, USA, where Gary talked about Simone and I being in a relationship. I want to run out of the room. The truth is that I was waiting for the hammer to fall. I had experienced so much abuse in previous relationships that I knew eventually Simone was going to hurt me, which, by the way, is not a question. But that is what people do in a relationship. We have these trigger points based on our past. Anytime there is a fight or an argument, you tell yourself, see, I was right. She's going to abuse me. She's going to lead me. A simple thing like Simone opening the bedroom door will make my heart drop. Not because of anything she will ever do, simply because that had been my experience. In the past, someone walking into the room, silently fighting anger, accusations, and abuse. Unknowingly, I had held on to all these different situations in my life, and I had taken them into my new relationship with Simone. So there we were, in a relationship, an avoiding relationship. Then one day, Deb, my mom, came to my house. Simone and I were living together at the time, still avoiding relationship. Mom said, I see the way you two are with each other. If I were looking for a relationship that is the sort of relationship I would want, you don't call it a relationship. So what the fuck it is? Her question stopped us in our tracks. We look at each other and say, maybe we should admit that we are in a relationship. Simone, that was the moment when things changed a lot for me because in the early days and unknown to each other, both of us were waiting for the abuse to start. What the point? What the point when you are in a relationship waiting for the abuse to start?
Yes.
Amazing how can we create our relationship sometime from any point of reference. We create the same and wow, waiting for the abuse to start.
So any kind of abuse, yeah, verbal, financial, physical. I mean, there are too many ways of abuse, and yes, it is amazing because like we said it yesterday, Will, on the book, that it says that that's something that we learned from our family in somehow. So it is like the normal thing to recreate. Wow, everything that is this historian and creative. Right and wrong, good and bad, bottom bug, all men, shirts, boys and beyonds. And also everywhere where we had been the abuser, not the abuse one. So let's historian and creative too.
Yes,
right and wrong, good and bad, bottom bug, all men, shirts, boys and beyonds.
Wow. Okay. There was something there. Yeah. There was something there. Yeah. I had been with men who continually put me down and judge my body hideously, and somewhere in my universe, I was expecting Brendon to do the same. It was obvious to me. Brendon was going to ditch me, lead me, or be mean to me. And I had better be ready for it. Although we never put it into words, that was actually why we both avoid relationship for the first couple of years we were together. When we first met, I lived in a 2-room townhouse in Queensland, Australia. It really wasn't a big enough for us, especially as Brendon had his son Nash and a dog. I used the second bedroom as an office, and Nash would sometimes sleep there on the fold-out couch. One day, I told Nash he needed to tidy up after himself and put his stuff away. He asked me, where do I put my stuff? I realized that he didn't have any place for his things, so I went out and bought him a plastic tube for his toys. He was taking one step closer to admitting that Brendon and I were in a relationship and we were willing to take on each other's commitment as well. Eventually, Brendon start talking about getting a bigger house. This was it. Brendon had been living with me, and now that he had got what he wanted, he was going to leave. I had expected that, and so quite casually, I asked him, "Are you guys moving out?" Brendon immediately said, "With you, move out with you." Even though he said that, Brendon had some reservations about choosing to live together. To figure it out what he truly desired as his future, he used one of the access consciousness tools. For 3 whole days, he imagined what his life would be like if we didn't move in together. Then, on the following 3 days, he indulged in the scenario of what his life would be like if he did move in with me. The second part didn't last 3 days. After only one day of indulging in the scenario of us living together, he said, "It's really obvious to me that my whole life will expand and we will create more if we were living together." I said, "Okay, let's do it." Left it at that. We didn't make it significant or plan the day when we will move in together. We just choose it one day, shortly after we had come home, from a 7-day Access Consciousness class in New Zealand. I was unpacking my suitcase. Brendon just looked at me and said, "Honey, I need somewhere to put my clothes." I say, "Are you moving in?" He replied, "Yep." That is how simple it was. So you want to continue?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you. It says, Brenda. Well, it's just that this whole story remind me how my husband and I started to going out, you know. For us, it was pretty natural. And sometimes he used to ask me, are you going to stay in my house? And I always ask him back, do you want me to be there? So, and suddenly from one day to another, I was having the half of my stuff in his house, you know, my clothes in his house. And then he said, okay, what if we just move in together? It was so natural. And 13 years later, here we are. And when we both read this book, it was for us like, oh my gosh, it's having a new perspective now that everything was so natural. It was like a choice. Now we can see that it wasn't on that way. And what can we choose? What can we choose? What can we choose today? What are the choices that we can make today as a couple, as partners, as whatever? Yeah, and also not having that a category, you know, husband and wife or whatever. It's just two persons that are so grateful for each other. And what else can we create together?
A project.
Yes. Okay. So it says, Brendon, a lot of us think we don't have the capacity for energetic awareness. When you do something like indulging in 2 different scenarios for your future, you definitely realize that you have a capacity to perceive energy. When I first used this tool, I immersed myself fully in the energy of not moving in with Simone. I will be planning to get my own place. I will have my son and my dog with me and so on. I did that for 3 consecutive days. There was no going back and forth. After 3 days, I switched food and indulge in what it would be like to move in with Simone. Immediately, I got the energy of the future that my choice will create. Within about 5 seconds, I could sense my life expand and become greater. And that is exactly what I had been asking for all along, a greater life. The day Simone and I acknowledged we were in a relationship, we had no idea what we were getting into, except that it matched the energy of the future we both decided to create. We had no clue what if what it would what it would look like from day to day. We definitely were interested in creating a relationship as we had in the past. So we made a commitment to ourselves to use the tools of access to create something different. As soon as we got to a place where the energy fund stock are heavy, we used one of the access tools to change it. There were times when I thought, I so don't want to use that tool. Since I knew the tools work, I was willing to give them a go, no matter how uncomfortable it was. What if there were no yesterday in relationship? Wow. Relationship has to be a fresh choice every day. It is about creation, contribution, being in allowance, having fun, and being enthused about the adventure of your life. The moment you say that you have a relationship, you have quit creating it. You have defined it by saying, oh, we live together, we're married, we're de facto, etc. Every definition will create limitation in your life. Definition.
And just I want to say something, that relationship has to be a fresh choice every day. For me, it means any kind of relationship we have with our body, with our friends, with our colleagues, with partners for creation or working, with our couple, with our son. I think if we can have a fresh choice every day for a relationship that we have with something, especially with ourselves, with our body. So how different will be, could be a day by day, because it will create something new every day. So simple, no? And so
Expensive.
Big, so
yes.
Expensive.
Awesome.
Sorry.
It says, definition does not exist within a question. So if you're willing to ask a question, you have more choices available. Simone and I live our lives based on questions. What can we choose today and what can we create together? We don't say we are going to be together for the next 20 or 30 years. There is no conclusion about where we are heading. We continuously play with different possibilities. We have a house, a child, a dog, a mortgage, and so on. That still doesn't mean that we are locked into anything. Our relationship could end at any time, even though it would be an accounting nightmare. I am not looking for Simone to make me happy. She knows that whatever I choose to get into, I will also choose to get out of. She has allowance for me, and that allowance keeps me from trying to fix things for her, because a man's job is always to fix things. We don't argue. I think we raise our voices to each other once. We have ease with each other because we have always found ease by using the tools in this book. We continue to use them all the time. Gary Douglas says you are where you are today, not because you have no money or because of your relationship. You have created by the choices you made. This was not easy for me to acknowledge at first. When I did, everything in my life changed quite dramatically. When I finally got that, I had created all the unhappiness, the lack of work, by the choices I had made. I said, oh, what if I just started making some different choices? I was not comfortable to be brutally honest with myself and look at those big, bad, ugly secrets I had been hiding. Once I did, it allowed me to start moving forward in my life. I realized that I was in the driver's seat and I had to take control of the car. If the same things keep repeating over and over in your life, look at what you love about them. Even if that means acknowledging that you are a complete asshole. Anything you hide from yourself will stop you. If you are willing to have the awareness of it, you can go beyond. Today is always a new day. What you did yesterday got you to where you were yesterday. What you choose today will be the things that will create your future. If you want your future to be different and be greater, what choices do you need to make today? Start today or don't. For me, sometimes I enjoy having a crappy day. Then I realize I'm trying to go back into something that is familiar and comfortable. Lately, I am never ever comfortable. Well, chapter 3 tools. Does the same scenario keep occurring over and over in your relationship? If it does, look at what you love about it. Be honest with yourself, even if that means acknowledging you act like a complete asshole at some times. Today is always a new day. What you did yesterday got you to where you were yesterday. What you choose today will be the future things that will create your future. Brenda. Ooh. Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's like when you break up with someone, you know, I mean for a lover relationship, for saying somehow, and there is a meme that says, it says that when you don't get over your ex, then it will appear in someone else's body.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is like, oh my gosh, so what are we doing for these things to keep showing over and over and over again? Where can we stop that? Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. It's stop judging ourselves on, oh my God, what am I doing? Oh yes, everything is my fault. Oh la la la. No, it is about like, okay, I have to stop now. So
because you choose it, because you choose to stop. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what can I choose different today that it make me this stop? And
Because no, because this is also something that I've been listening a lot. Like I can't do this because my husband. I can't do that because my child. I can do this because, or I cannot choose that because I am a mother. I cannot choose that because, blah 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 blah. And how we create all these lies, basically.
Yeah, whose lies are
exactly.
exactly.
Because these are just lies that you create to stop you. Who is deciding, who is choosing to not do something is you. I mean, nobody will do it. I mean, not even your whatever situation you have with your husband or wife or as a mother. Actually, if you choose, you know you can create it. You can create that possibility because you have the tools if you want to observe yourself and be awareness and have the awareness to receive these tools, because you have the knowledge to do that.
And also to know what it requires there, but being like the book says, brutally honest, you know, because sometimes it is like this thing, for example, sometimes in my case, being a little vulnerable, I can tell you that sometimes I used to think that I cannot do too many things because I am a mom, you know, and my husband is the one who works, and how can I'm going to travel and things like that. But I start to realize that as you said it, that that's my choice. I mean, that's something that I choose. Okay, so that was a choice that I made yesterday. What can I choose different today now? And what am I willing to give up, or what am I willing to receive also? And for me it was like, okay, so I'm going to enjoy to be a mom, and to be also a businesswoman, and to be also a wife, and to be also myself, and to have different roles, but in a different way. Or maybe this is something also, whose universe are you getting into?
Exactly.
Because sometimes this thought comes because we are like seeing the outside and saying, oh my gosh, she's creating this, oh my god, he's creating that, oh yes, they can because they don't have a child, of course, whatever. And there are a lot of excuses for not doing. But exactly. What about if we give up to those excuses and we start to be brutally honest on choosing what we do really want? Yeah, and
yeah,
how
exactly.
can we do it different also? Because I'm choosing to be with my son, I'm choosing to be with my husband, I'm choosing to have the dog, the cat, or whatever. Okay, so but I also choose to be a businesswoman. So how can I do it different? And what invitation also can I be for all the women that thinks that they cannot do anything as a professionist because they have the same situation than me? So it is choice, 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 choice. Choices, yesterday choices, like the book says, they're from the past, and it's okay. And today, what I'm going to choose now, wow, that it will create a greater future for me and for the planet and from everybody around me. Wow.
Yeah, and how can your family or your son or your husband can contribute to you? Yes. If you ask, like, and if you ask to the relationship itself, as we say yesterday, no? Because if it's the better for you, for your body, for the planet, for the future of your family, for your future, for the future of your body, of course, you will be supported by the whole universe.
Yes.
In that decision. So the point is, are you sure you want that?
Exactly. Yeah. Are you sure you want that? Yes. Because then you realize that anything is possible. If you let yourself to receive from everybody and everything around you, wow, what future can you create with total ease, with total fun? Amazing.
Yeah. Nice conversation. Thank you for that, Elisa. Possible? What else is possible?
Thank you. Okay, so go to chapter 4. Are you okay? Yep, okay. So chapter 4, creation of a future in the now. Wow, okay. Simone, for Brendon and me, relationship is not about growing old together or fulfilling each other's idea to the perfect partner. The reason for being in a relationship with somebody is so that you create at least 20 times more in the world than you will create alone. Creation is endless. In creation, there is no definition, there is no limitation. Brendon and I are building a house together, and like everything we are creating, it is not based on the necessity of having a roof above our heads. Regent Beach, where I live, has one of the most beautiful beaches in Queensland. Whenever I am at home, like to go jogging in the neighborhood. There are about 4 blocks of land that I run past that I have always said I will buy if they ever come up for sale. Well, one of them did. At the time, we didn't have money sitting around to buy a block of land on the beach. What I have noticed is that if either of us truly desires something, we don't stop the other person. Rather, we look at what we can contribute to make that happen for them. When I told Brendon how I really wanted to buy this block of land on the beach, amazing man that he is, he started looking at what we would need to do and who we would need to talk to so that it became a reality. We started with a bill that matched the parameters of what we could afford. Then we looked at what we would actually like to create on that beautiful block of land. I didn't want to build an affordable house. It is like having a beautiful blank canvas and only using 2 colors to paint. No, I decided to paint with all the colors in my palette. So I said to Brenda, why can't we ask for what we really want? He replied, good point. When we started meeting with architects and looking at what we would like to create, of course, the cost doubled. Yet, we didn't slow ourselves down or stop in order to match what these reality projects add you if you ask for something that is considered too much. I want marble floors, I want cellar, a gym. It will be an epic house and I am not having anything less. It does take work though. We met with a few mortgage brokers and spoke to different people. Throughout this whole process, we keep asking ourselves, what do we need to be to have this physically actualize and be a reality of what we would like to create? Instead of buying into any so-called problems, we are willing to change whatever we must change to create greater possibilities. I see so many people give up and stop when they see a problem rather than take 2, 3, 5 more steps to create what they actually desire. Oh, that's really awesome. Do you want to continue?
Yep. So the exuberance of creating together. Brendon and I will talk about all the things we were creating together, yet it is not done from the expectation of being together forever. That may seem counterintuitive, and it is also one of the greatest gifts in our relationship. We wake up every morning and ask, what can we create together? Wow, nice.
Yes.
So imagine. Often people will look at our relationship and say, I wish I could create more with my partner like Brendon and you do. I invariably ask them, what have you defined as creation? Creation is not about always doing everything together. Whenever I am at home, I'm really happy to go to the local farmers market at 5 a.m. and buy beautiful fresh produce. Most of the time, Brendon is the one who cooks it. Although every now and then he will come to the market with me. I never expect him to do so. He loves to sleep in. People often misidentify that creating together means we both must get up and go to the market together. We both must cook a meal together. That is not creation as contribution and contribution as creation. Creation is the willingness to contribute your capacities to create something greater and create more ease in your lives. If Brendon travels overseas and I stay at home, we are still creating together. Creation, it is creation is this continuous contribution to each other. If you are not always in the creative energy of relationship, you will get bored.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's for sure. One of the access tools that I use every single day is to destroy and uncreate my relationship with Brendon. When you ask to destroy and uncreate your relationship, what you are doing is destroying every point of view you created about that person. Every limitation, every conclusion, every feeling you have about that person and your relationship. What you think it what you think it should be, and what you have decided should be. Destroy and uncreate it all. There is a level of vulnerability with this. You are totally untethered from the past. What I am for is to wake up every morning with the sense of how did I get so lucky to have Brendon in my life. Brendon, a relationship just doesn't happen. You get to create it fresh every day. Every day, Simone and I both look at, whoa, what now? What's next? Who the hell am I today? And what am I going to create? We don't look at who we were yesterday or what we did in the past. It is the total exuberance of, I am alive today. What do I wish to create with this person? What do I wish to create in this relationship? And even, do we still wish to be together today? Wow.
I think that is the one who thinks is thinks. But it seems to me that this is the question, the brutal question that we can use every day. Do we still wish to be together today? Wow. And that is awesome, because it is being from the choice, not because I have to. It is a choice. It is a choice to be together. So, wow.
Exactly. And also, if, for example, it comes a no,
yeah,
for both, it's not like going to the drama and trauma of that. So maybe not today, not in this 10 seconds, or not today, but yes, tomorrow, or yes, the day past tomorrow. So do something else, you know, because probably in that moment you don't wish to be together, and that's it.
And you are not a contribution for each other on that day. So maybe it is a good day for doing different things by their own, you know, and not being together.
How addicted to for us, how addicted we are to these feelings and emotions. Like Simone Milasas called this to masturbate your heart. Remember?
Yeah.
So, you don't wish to be with me? No, it's not like a big drama. It's just now. It's today. I mean, maybe we do something different. I don't know. I go out. I go away for a couple of days. I do something else. I don't contact you in 2 days, and that's it. But no, now, you know. And
but Mori, do you realize that we are in another reality?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for that, because that is something that is not happened to our neighbors, for example. No. I remember that a couple of months ago, my husband came from a session with his coach, with a colleague of him who is also a coach, and he told me, "Oh, I told him that you're going to run because of your certification and things like that," and he was like, "Oh, is she going alone by herself? Oh my gosh, and you're not going?" And I said, "What? Say again? How come?" I mean, and for me, it's so natural. And because I surrender myself with people like you, that is also natural. But that's now our universe, because outside there's another reality. Wow. And in that reality, at least for maybe a Latino's reality, that is not normal. Wow.
Yeah.
And now, wow. And what what relationship are we creating based on what is normal, or what we think is not normal, just to fit in, just to be accepted by our mother or father or society or someone else's but us?
Everything that is, can we destroy it and create it all, please?
Yes.
Right on the good about put and poke online short points and beyond. Woohoo! Yeah. When two
Amazing.
people, amazing. Yeah. I could talk about this a lot more because sometimes I really bought the reality of my parents as well, and I had create uh, um, with my partner like their relationship, you know, and I realized what I'm doing here. I have another reality,
Who
you
am
know,
I when I'm acting like that? Yeah.
because I supposed to be, you know, the woman who stay at home and be with and I'm like, no.
Not in a million years, baby. I mean,
I, I want action, action, action.
yeah, yeah. But probably you're the only one that goes through that on being the mom and things like that. Yeah, that's probably you, Maureen.
That's me.
That no, that is not happening never.
So
Everything that is, let's destroy and create it.
yes, please.
Right,
Right
round,
around,
and back, all the short points
short
and
boys
yes.
and beyond. So when two people get together, usually they, their friends and family, all expect them to stay together and live out their life in a certain pattern, is what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There is a certain order to relationships in this reality. Exactly what we were saying. We know it well because people often project us the view that, well, now you have your house, you have your dog, you have got your child. This is it. This is the final.
Ay, para
It's time to get the matching rocking chairs.
Bottom book.
Bottom back. In the past 8 years, not once have Simone and I looked at our relationship as a long-term thing or thought that we will grow all together. Both of us knew that having such an expectation will drive the other one way. We decide to create a relationship that goes beyond any definition and limitations. We function from the fluidity of constantly asking, is this what we decide today? And if the answer is yes, the next question is, what can we create together? This is very different to how most people learn to function in a relationship. I see a lot of people using projection and expectation with their partners. It might be that the man needs to earn X amount of money, or the woman needs to cook dinner 4 nights a week. I was talking to a lady recently who said she had asked her husband to make dinner, and when he didn't, she became very angry with him. I said, "Okay, tell me how you ask him." She said, "I email him." And I say, "I am running late, so you need to make dinner." Oh, what a kind way to say and to ask for it. My goodness. That is not asking someone for help. How is sending an email to your partner saying, "I am running late and and I need you to make the dinner," delivered with so much energy, a question, isn't it? These are some of the ways that we try and control our relationships. What if we start looking at the being a contribution to each other instead? So, chapter 4, tools. These are the tools for the chapter 4. Every single day, destroy and uncreate your relationship with your partner. What occurs is that you will destroy every point of view, every limitation, every conclusion, and every feeling you have about them and your relationship. That is how you become untethered,
Mhm.
untethered from the past and create your relationship as a fresh choice every day. So creation is this continuous contribution to each other. If you are not always in the creative energy of relationship, you will get bored.
And drama will start.
drama will start as usually. Wow, what nice conversation, Elisa. Thank you for this space. I'm really enjoying to talk with you, to practice my English, and what else is possible really in our relationships and for the future of the planet. Recognizing that we are a miracle in the earth.
Yes. And so everybody else.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this space, Moren. Let's see you tomorrow.
Yoo-hoo! Same time, same channel.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. I stop the transmission. Ta-da. I stop the recording.